Hey, Amelia. She slowly turned to face me. She didn't look evil. In fact, she looked comforting. The warm smile stuck to her lips, sent a pang of guilt jolting through me. What if Amelia had done nothing wrong? What if I was having some sort of mental break due to finally spending time with a woman after such a long time? I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. I didn't want to throw away something good if I was actually the one to blame. What's up, babe? My cheeks blossomed with colour. That was the first time either of us had used pet names. Never mind. Don't worry about it, babe, I said, shooting her a wink. We didn't have much planned for that day, though I was enjoying my time with Amelia. I just couldn't rid my mind of the previous night. What started out like a dream was devolving into a nightmare. I didn't know what to do. Eventually, I figured it out. I needed to stay awake. I had to know if Amelia was truly the sweet, loving girl I thought she was, or if she was someone else entirely. Amelia continued showing me around, until eventually I asked to stop in a store to relieve myself. She agreed, and I watched as she made her way to the women's restroom. My plan was going off without a hitch. The moment the door clicked shut, I scooped up a handful of 5-hour energy drinks and bolted to the counter. I was sweating bullets as I handed the shop owner my cash. If I wasn't quick, the jig would be up. The old woman smiled at me as she handed me my change. I hurriedly stuffed the little bottles into my pockets, and not a moment too soon, Amelia emerged from the restroom looking refreshed. I beamed at her. Ready to go? She nodded, and we were on our way. Amelia was the one who proposed it. She casually tossed the suggestion out between forkfuls of fettuccine Alfredo. So, I was thinking, do you want to come back to my apartment tonight? The hotel is comfy and all, but I thought you might want to see my place. A sinking feeling of dread gnawed at my intestines like a wolverine. I liked this girl. I really did. So, why was my gut telling me that I should say no? I couldn't formulate a plan at the time. Yeah, sure thing, I blurted out. Amelia grinned as she took another bite of her pasta. Great. Now I was definitely going to end up on Dateline. Blood pounded in my ears for the entire remainder of the meal. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't slightly petrified. I'd been popping 5-hour energy drinks every chance I got, so that probably wasn't helping my anxiety. But just the thought of waking up paralysed again, or not waking up at all, was shredding my mental health to pieces. I had a slight tremor in my hands on the ride back to Amelia's apartment. And she noticed. Eli, is everything okay? You seem jittery. Shit. I needed to put on a straight face. Yeah, everything's fine. Just nerves, you know. This is the first time I'm getting to see your apartment. Who wouldn't be excited? She giggled, covering her mouth with her hand. You're a goober. I like that about you, she said, gently interlacing my quivering fingers with hers. I could feel my face turning red. She was making it really difficult to be suspicious of her. When we finally arrived, I opened the cab door for Amelia and helped her out. She was slowly beginning to melt my apprehension. I hadn't noticed anything out of the ordinary for a whole day after all. Her apartment was nice. Like, really nice. The place was furnished with expensive couches and armchairs. It was surprisingly spacious. And to top it all off, she had a balcony that provided an incredible view of the city. Honestly, I was a tad bit envious. A really nice place you got here, I said, once she was done giving me a thorough walkthrough. Thank you. I take pride in my home. There's one room I haven't shown you yet, though, she yawned, drowsiness sweeping over her countenance. My heart plummeted into my gut. Crap. Was it bedtime already? I glanced down at my watch. 11 p.m. I knew what I needed to do. Mind if I use the restroom first? Been holding it for a little bit. Sure, right down the hall. I nonchalantly sauntered to the bathroom. The second the door clicked shut, I emptied the rest of the 5-hour energy drinks from my pockets. 2 left. That would have to do. I downed them and placed the empty bottles in the trash can as quietly as possible. I covered them with toilet paper to hide my tracks. Genius, right? I popped back out of the bathroom, donning my best sexy face. Best to play tough so she wouldn't think I was up to anything. All right, sweetheart. What is it that you wanted to show me? Amelia burst into laughter. What? What is that face? She wheezed, hands over her stomach. I blushed, my cheeks turning red. I don't know. I thought it would be hot or something. She glanced up at me, tears in her eyes from the laughing fit. You look constipated. You really are something else. Come on, hot stuff, she said, finally regaining her composure. Amelia took my hand and led me to a room at the end of the hall. She pushed open the door, revealing her bedroom. It was even nicer than the rest of her apartment. The room was spotless. A desk lay in the corner, with a computer perching atop it. A fish tank sat on a dresser, foreign specimens of fish swimming lazily among the steady hum of the filter. And her bed. Amelia had a queen-sized bed with pristine white linens that took up a good portion of the room. It looked as if it was made of clouds. Crap. Anyone would have a tough time staying awake in a bed that comfortable. Amelia stretched her arms high above her head. When she lowered them back down, her exhaustion became evident. Her eyelids were drooping, and she had a vacant stare. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for bed. I'm worn out, Amelia said, shooting me a weak smile. I returned one bark. Had Amelia been falling asleep before me every night? Maybe she really wasn't up to anything. Sane. Ladies first. I soon found myself snuggled up under the blankets with Amelia in my arms. The bed was as comfortable as it looked. Fortunately for me, the energy drinks had my heart pounding harder than an MMA fighter. I wasn't going to dreamland any time soon. I don't even know how long I laid there, fighting off sleep. It felt like an eternity, but if I had to guess, I'd say it was about an hour tops. That was when it happened. Amelia shifted, lightly rolling out of my grasp. I squeezed my eyes shut and steadied my breathing. I couldn't afford to let her find out that I was faking it. I heard rustling noises from the edge of the bed. It sounded like someone was rummaging through a desk drawer. But what chilled me to my core was the whispering. Amelia had started mumbling to herself, just loud enough for me to discern what she was saying. This is it. Tonight's the night. I'm going to pluck out your eyes and chew them like gumballs. I can't wait to strip the flesh from your bones and feel it slither down my throat. I'm just itching to carve out your heart and cook it over an open flame. Fear crashed through me like a tidal wave. I'd been right all along. I had to know. I opened my eyes just enough to see what was going on. Amelia was rifling through her purse. I watched curiously as she found what she was looking for. She held up a little plastic box. I could feel the colour drain from my face as she opened it. Inside was a syringe and a tiny bottle of clear liquid. No. This couldn't be happening. Had all that, the outings, the intimacy, the invitation to her apartment, had it all been a part of some elaborate plan to murder me? I had to get out of there. I rolled onto my stomach and let out a slight groan. Out of my periphery, I saw Amelia hurriedly close the plastic box and hide it behind her back. It was now or never. I yawned loudly, rubbing my eyes and slowly opening them, as if I'd been woken naturally. It was slight, but for a second I could see disappointment wash over her visage before she returned to her normal, jovial self. Oh, sorry, babe. Did I wake you? I was looking for my sleeping pills. Body's tired, but my mind's wide awake, you know? She giggled anxiously. That laugh that I'd found adorable just hours prior now disgusted me. This woman was an absolute monster. No. I think I just have to pee. I'll be right back, I said, sliding out of bed. I discreetly grabbed my phone on the way. Sure thing. Hurry back now. I'll get cold without your cuddles. I locked eyes with her, nodded warmly, and slipped out of the door. I bolted straight out of there. I didn't care if I was in nothing but my boxers. I had to put as much distance between myself and Amelia as humanly possible. I ran and ran until I thought I was a safe enough distance away. I doubled over, struggling to catch my breath, before calling the police. They didn't believe me, of course, because pretty blonde women can't be serial killers, right? They did at least bring me back to the hotel. I'll give them that. That's where I am now. I've called Jared, but whenever I do, I get an automated message telling me that his phone number has been disconnected. I've tried contacting the company that he works for, but I can't find anything about it online. It's as if it never existed. I don't know what to do. I left my wallet at Amelia's apartment, and without that, I can't pay for an early flight home. But that's not what truly terrifies me. Amelia is still out there, searching. And she knows exactly where to find me.